Hello and welcome to The Route, our ongoing content series. I'm Wes Platt, Executive Editor of School Bus Fleet. This episode of The Route is sponsored by bus manufacturer BYD. And today I'm happy to welcome back Jason Yan, who is BYD America's Director of Sales and Operations for Bus and Coach. Okay, let's get rolling. Now, my first question, we're kind of continuing from where we left off last time. I know BYD has a lot of experience in the transit space, and now you're getting into school transportation. How are you applying the lessons that you've learned in the transit side to school transportation?
Sure. I think what we learned, especially we started to deliver the buses in the US from the 2013-14. So what we learned in the transit and also it can convey to the school transportation is the product reliability and design and also the service. So because for any fleet, you definitely want to keep the service rate. They don't want to have a lot of the buses out of the service, and because it will be the disaster for them to replan their fleet and how they're going to operate for the day. So the product reliability is definitely the top priority list on the top priority list. And the second one is the mature design. So because the electric bus or the electric vehicle is a new technology, there's not a lot of the new stuff, new function, and add into the vehicles itself. So whether the OEM can provide a mature design will proven by the different weather condition, different road profile is very important as well. And the last thing, and which is very important during the operation, is the service. How quick the OEM or the dealer can provide a reaction to the request from the fleet, from the school district is very important because the vehicle is a vehicle. It cannot is always 100% perfect during the 12, 15 years lifetime. But if the vendor can provide the immediate reaction and the solution to the fleet, that will be really helpful to the fleet.
Now, kind of shifting gears a little bit here, more on that production side. How did BYD come to the decision to establish a production facility in Lancaster, California?
Okay, so I cannot speak too much about it. The reason for that is I joined the BYD back in the 2016, and actually BYD moved the headquarters from the Chicago, Illinois to Lancaster, California in 2011.
Okay.
So from the 2011, the bought the plant manufacturing facility in Lancaster and started the manufacturing of the electric buses, electric trucks, and electric shuttle buses. So of course, California, as you know, it has a lot of the funding support, and for the entire states is the very zero emission friendly state. Of course, right now the entire United States is the zero emission friendly for sure, and a lot of the state catching up speed. Even is they're trying to do whatever the California did before, or even do more. So we see the trend, but though back in the 2011, I think that is definitely one of the considerations.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, California, when it comes to environmental concerns, always been kind of leading that charge.
Right.
So no surprise that they were at the forefront for this. Tell me about the team of local workers that you've employed to build these buses there in California.
Yes. So I still remember when I joined the BYD and back in 2016, the production has about 100, 200 employees, production employees. And we were, in all working at the workshop or the manufacturing plant. And from the 2017, and the BYD decided to expand the plant, which is the current BYD Lancaster BYD coach and bus plant. With the 550,000 square foot. And I think we hired a lot of the local employees in Lancaster, in Antelope Valley, Lancaster, Palmdale, and other cities in the Antelope Valley. So, and of course, because Lancaster has a lot of the qualified production employees, because right here, there's a lot of the aircraft company and doing the manufacturing as well. So we're very lucky to get a lot of the qualified and perfect production workers here. And back in several years ago, we decided to work with the Smart Union 105. So we were the first electric bus manufacturing facility is actually a union workshop. So we are glad to have them in and to provide our labor support and manufacturing support.
Now, you mentioned Antelope Valley, and BYD just recently announced a deal to build 20 buses for the Antelope Valley schools right there in the backyard in Lancaster. How did this come about, and what does it mean for BYD going forward?
Of course. So when we started the electric bus design, of course, Antelope Valley ABSTA is came into our mind and attract our attention because they're in the Lancaster as well. So we had several meetings with them. When we designed, we learned from them, and we have multiple meetings to exchange some ideas about the product reliability and also the design. Of course, during that period, AVTA, which is our transit customer in Lancaster, which is also the first transit agency in the United States, 100% their fleet. We started to provide them the buses from 2014-15. So we have a very successful case and for their fleet, for the AVTA fleet. So they spoke highly on us as well, and they gave ABSTA a lot of the recommendation and also the learning experience. So we got a really good support from the AVTA as well. And like I said, after the multiple meetings and demos, we did a demo to the ABSTA. We showed them the bus and test drive it and lift up the bus to check the different components and invite them to come over to visit the Lancaster plant to show them how we build the bus step by step. After that, we win their trust, and eventually we're very lucky and honored to be selected as their vendor to get to provide the 20 BYD Type D electric buses.
Again, thank you so much for your time and for taking the time to get out here and talk about this again. Wishing you the best. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
It's time to park the bus for now. Thank you, Jason Yan, again for joining us today, and to our episode sponsor, BYD. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at School Bus Fleet. Reach out to me via email for any news tips at wes.platt@bobbit.com. Drive safely, and see you next time on the route.
Thank you.